Hello! Today we are going to be talking about the Nclex and the materials that I use to study. I passed the Nclex with 75 questions and it took me a month and a few weeks to study for the Nclex. It took me around 3 weeks alone just to figure out a regimen that worked for me and to find the materials that I found helpful. So I think this video will be really helpful for you because I will explain to you the materials that I used, how I used it, and why it was helpful for me. So stay tuned to the end of the video because I have a proposal for you guys. I want this Nclex process and Nclex studying to be as simple and easy for you. If you have any questions throughout the video, just leave them down below and I will definitely get back to them. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and let's get into the video. Okay, first things first, materials. You're gonna need a notebook. That's number one. In this notebook, you're gonna put all your rationales after you finish answering any kind of questions, whether you're gonna use Uworld or Archer Review. And another thing that you can put into this notebook is Medmath questions. You need to practice Medmath, and it's a good way to keep all your questions all together and stay organized if you have a notebook. You can also use your notebook to rewrite your notes based on the PowerPoints that you will be using or any other kind of study material. Next, you're going to need pens and highlighters. You need this. It's good for you to highlight the most important information. And for me, I'm the kind of person, whenever I see bright things, it just sticks more to me. It helps me be able to remember things. And I like things when it looks pretty, okay? Comment down below if you're the same way. I like it when my notes are colorful and highlighted. After you read a lot of things, you want to just memorize the important things. And that's why the color coordinated pens and highlighters will help you be able to recognize important things. And I'll show you exactly what I mean later on in this video. Number 3, note cards. Oh my gosh. This really helped me because sometimes when I am outside or if I'm doing anything, I can have my note cards right with me. It's very portable. I don't have to bring like books and textbooks or like my notebook with me. I can just bring my flashcards and it helps me be able to study and memorize things even more faster. You're definitely going to need an Nclex study calendar or an Nclex planner. I have one and I'm definitely planning to give it out to all my subscribers. So make sure that you subscribe and send me an email and I'll definitely send you an Nclex planner. But last and not least, you're going to need a binder. You do not need a huge binder. A binder like this is perfectly fine. This is how I was able to stay organized. Everything that I needed for the Nclex is in this binder. And I was able to tuck my notebook inside and all my notes and study sheets as well. So this prevented me from losing anything, and it also made me be able to stay organized because you really need to, especially because you're going through 2 years of nursing. You have a lot of information and trust me, you do not want to lose not a thing. Okay guys, so this is the most important thing that I want you to get out of this video. You need thorough review material. You do not want to use a whole bunch of review material because you're going to get overwhelmed with material, and I don't want you to be spending a lot of money either. So these are the 3 things that I used for the Nclex. Number 1, I used Uworld. I personally believe that you need Uworld. Uworld have the same format on the websites and also similar style questions, meaning the browser looks the same. The way that site looks whenever you answer the questions. It looks exactly like the Nclex. So if you have anxiety and you just want to have like a little sneak peek as to how the Nclex would be like, or if you want to develop or become a little bit more comfortable with the Nclex, I would definitely say go and get Uworld. Uworld is not only good because it gives you a sneak peek as to what the Nclex setup would look like, but it's also good because it's a great source of practice questions. I personally believe that it is hard. It is extremely hard. I used to score 50s and 60s with Uworld, but it prepares you for the Nclex, because if you are scoring 60s and 70s and 80s on the Nclex, I personally believe that you will pass, because the Nclex questions are completely easier than Uworld. So these assessments that you hear me talking about, they are a predictor as to if you will pass if you take the Nclex or not. Do that, it tells you how likely are you to pass the Nclex. So if you're nervous about it and you take this, it will also give you like a predictor in a way. And I think that's really useful because it helps you be able to be confident with what you know. Number 2 that I use, and honestly I do not think I would have passed without it, is Archer Review. Just talk about them real quick. Archer Review, I used Archer Review as a content review. They broke it down little by little and they just told you the exact things that you need for the Nclex. So it went through leadership, community, pharmacology, fundamentals, med surg, mental health, maternal and newborn, and pediatrics. These are topics that you need to know for the Nclex, and these people on Archer Review went through everything. They also have a 2-day review broken up on the website. I think it's like 10 hours long, and it was so helpful because it doesn't tell you everything about nursing. It just tells you everything that you need to pass the Nclex on nursing. And honestly, like, it was just heaven sent. So for example, I would say this week I am studying mental health. So I would watch the video thoroughly, and I would also print out the PDF that they have, and I would go through the video with the study guide as if I'm in class. And it works with it, because imagine if you're hearing something and the same thing that you're hearing is what you're seeing on the piece of paper. So it sticks because you're hearing it and you're seeing it, and not only are you going to be hearing it and seeing it at the same time, you're going to be using your highlighter and your pens, and you're going to be making notes. So this is going to be like a time for you to review that specific subject. I would definitely recommend for you guys to get Archer Review, even if it's just a content review, because they also have questions. I personally did not like those questions. I personally rathered Uworld, but I would definitely suggest for you guys to get Archer Review. What was so useful for me is because I went through basically 5 years of nursing school, 2.5 years with prerequisites, and 2.5 years of nursing school, like hard on nursing. So for me to go through everything, that's practically almost impossible. So Archer Review helps you review everything within that 2-day review. And honestly, I think that's just amazing. Archer content review. Do not go over every single thing that is there, because they have a lot. They have endocrine, they have safety and infection control, they have fluids and electrolytes. You do not need to go over every single video there. What I would suggest for you to do is do the 2-day review. That is 10 hours long. And then do the Uworld, and then do the study guide, and then do the SimpleNursing. That's all you have to do. Don't do all of the videos. And here's the reason why I say that. In the 2-day Nclex review, it is geared towards the Nclex. These videos are used for nursing students, like when you're in nursing school. The 2-day review that I'm talking to you about is geared directly for Nclex. So I do not believe that you should go through all these videos because you do not want to get distracted. And just to clarify as well, even in the 2-day review, I only focused on the main points, which is fundamental, pharmacology, etc., etc. I did not go over fluids and electrolytes or anything like that. Unless I had extra time to study, I would watch those videos, but I only focused on the main points, even within the 2-day review. For example, diet and nutrition. It's good to know diet and nutrition, but that is what that study guide is used for. The study guide that I keep on referring to, that I think you should buy from the packet that I'm selling. This study guide, right? It goes through everything that you need for the Nclex. The Nclex is not testing you on little tiny information. It's testing if you are a safe and efficient nurse. So it's not. And the last thing that I used was SimpleNursing. SimpleNursing. It breaks it down for you and it gives you mnemonics. And not only that, it gives you easier ways to just memorize everything. He is a wonderful teacher and it's just a wonderful website. Lastly, what I used for the Nclex for Medmath was Registered Nurse. So I will also leave a link to the video that I used for the Nclex. So what I want you guys to do is print out the notes and go through the video with her with it printed out. So for example, this is what it looks like. First, she goes over how to convert, and then she does problem questions. And as she's going over the questions, she helps you understand how to answer the questions. So she does orders and supplies, and she really breaks it down. This video was extremely helpful because she does a lot of Medmath questions, all kinds of questions. She does weight-based questions, IV, bolus, drip factor, you name it, it's definitely there. So now that I told you what materials I used and the things that I bought for studying the Nclex, I'm going to show you guys how I used them. So with Uworld, when I initially got it, I was like, ooh, I had to do 75 questions. I had to do 75 questions. No, you don't have to. I did 20 questions a day. And if I wasn't sure of the answer or why I got it right, or if I even got it wrong, I also write out the rationales in my notebook. And that's why I said it's so important for you to have that notebook, because it helps you be able to know what you're studying. It helps you stay organized, and it also helps you be able to memorize things. When you write things down, it just stays in your brain longer. It makes you understand things easier. So I wrote down my rationales. And another thing is I want to say to you guys is make sure you read the rationales, even if you got it right, because you learn something new within those rationales. Those rationales is very detailed, extremely detailed. So read those rationales. Even if you got it right and you're confident with it, read those rationales. You do not have to write it if you are confident, but even if you're confident, read those rationales. And that's why I said 20 a day, because it's a lot. When I did my Uworld, it took me like an hour just to do 20 questions, because I'm reading the choices. I am taking my time, and I'm also reading the rationales, and I'm writing out what is important with these rationales, or why I got the question wrong, or why I don't really understand. This is a time for you to take your time. This is a time for you to understand. So don't rush through these questions. You're not going to get what you need to get if you rush through these questions. So here are my notes from my notebook, and I was reviewing mental health. So I write down the date that I am studying, and I also write what kind of subject I'm doing. And this is an example of what I mean by highlighting things. For example, with anxiety, the main point is to stay with the patient. Like, you do not have to write out everything. All you have to do is just summarize the rationale and make it simple to you. So this was kind of like a routine. First thing that I studied was pharmacology. I will have the link in the description down below of the Archer Review Pharmacology content review. I think that this is what you should do. Give this a try. You're gonna take your time and watch that video. As she is speaking, you can make note cards as she's talking. So for example, let's talk about Ativan. Ativan is an anti-anxiety agent. It's also known for lorazepam. So this is what I think you should do. She talks about the usage, the action, the nursing consideration, and the antidote. Everything that you see that has a star on it or that is green, and also that has an orange line, that is important. That is something you need to know for the Nclex. And she will tell you that this is what you need to know for the Nclex. And if she doesn't tell you, it's also on the PowerPoint in red. Whenever you have your study days that you just don't want to study, or if you're taking a break, this is so nice to just read. You go into the back, you read, and you just continue doing it. Within 30 minutes, you go through your note cards, and if you do this every day, trust me, you will remember everything on this. And that pharmacology video is all the medications you're going to need for the Nclex. So you don't need to look anywhere else for pharmacology. Everything that you need for pharmacology is in the video that I will add in the description box below. So definitely check it out. This is what I think you guys should study for pharmacology. And this is what you'll use the note cards for this. So after you finish watching the pharmacology review and you make your note cards, then you should go on Uworld and do 20 questions. And you're gonna write out the rationales that you do not understand. And after you do that, you're gonna go and read the study guide. I have this study guide here called Past the Nclex. This thing is so good and thorough because it has everything. It has Medmath. It has pharmacology, fundamentals, you name it, it's in here, right? I think this is beautiful just to read over. You do not need to study this, but this is good to read over and to highlight because it gives you information that maybe Archer Review missed out on. And what I use SimpleNursing for is if I see something in here that I don't understand, I will go to SimpleNursing, research it there, and now I know everything. Now I exposed myself to everything. And this is material that helps. So to recap, first you're going to do content review with Archer. Then you're going to do Uworld and write out the rationales. Then you're going to read over that study guide, and if there's anything that you are confused with, you're going to watch SimpleNursing. So I know that that is a lot to take in, and now I know you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, this is so expensive. Uworld alone is like $300, and Archer Review is probably like $100 and SimpleNursing is like $40 a month. I know. This is what you should do. This is what I'm not going to say I did, because I'm not going to incriminate myself. But this is what you should do, and this is what I think you should do. I think you should get a group of friends that is also studying for the Nclex right now. And when it comes on to SimpleNursing, and when it comes on to Archer Review, especially if you're not going to do the questions, you guys just pitch in and you guys just pay little by little together. You guys will be like, okay, if it's $5 and there's 5 of us, everyone will put in $1 a month to be able to afford this. And I'm telling you, this information that I'm giving you guys is priceless. Right. Thank you so much for staying to the end of the video. So I have a proposal. I have all of my study notes and all of my study materials on sale. It will be a combination of everything. I'm just selling everything as a bundle. If you're interested in purchasing, please let me know by sending me a message on Instagram or by sending me an email. I will be listing a few things of what will be in the bundle here. I believe that this will be very helpful for you, because now you don't have to buy everything separately. Especially because some of these materials cost $30, some of them cost $15, so the price will end up adding up. So I'm selling my bundle for you guys so it can be more cost effective for you. So this will be useful for you guys, because you will see the teaching style of Archer Review, and you'll see if it's worth paying your money or not. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them down below. If you guys want a part 2 to this video about my Nclex journey, how it was when I was taking the Nclex and how I revealed my results, let me know. That would be an amazing story time. Let me know if that's what you guys would like to see next. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that this video was useful, and good luck studying. See you later.